What up? It's on the sick one to sobriety. My name is Rob, and I'm an alcoholic and drug addict. So, just a quick recap: I got kicked out of the rehabilitation center that I was at because I popped the dirty urinalysis test. I can't even say that word. Goddamn. Si me dejó el crico a la verga. I popped dirty on the P test. Goddamn it! Right? I was using inside the program and found out. Walked us out. I hit up my brother for some help. He said, "Yeah, I'll help you. I'm gonna take you to Victory Outreach." And from what I know, is that Victory Outreach is a very, very religious place to be. And it ain't no joke to be a part of that program, because from what I hear that they make their people doing the program do is go wash cars, go ask for donations out on the street. Like, for me at the time, I found it as embarrassing that I had to go out and ask for money for a fucking program. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? And so I would trip out on that shit, but now I understand it's like a humbling experience, and I get it. Now I get it. But at that time, when I was still an active tweaker or not, I wanted to stop, but I didn't. You know, so I wanted to play the part because I figured that if I finish this program and not get kicked out this time, maybe my brother and his wife could let me go live with them again, and I could start all over. So they take me to Salvation Army, goddamn it, a veces ya no para la verga. They take me to Victory Outreach, to the house in San Isidro. I don't know if it's still there. I wonder if it is. And luckily, to my luck, they were not there. They had closed the place down because they had a huge event going on at the East Park. And I was just like, let's go. We went. My brother and his wife dropped me off. They left me with somebody there that they knew. And the guy that took over for my brother and his wife was like, just relax. Like, let's get through this day. Let's enjoy the festivities. And then at the end of the event, we'll get you back to the pad, get your intake done, and then we'll see where we go from there. I was like, all right, whatever. I had a few bucks on me, so I remember just buying some nachos and chilling. I remember they had this one dude that was gonna come up to the stage and speak that he was in prison for like 30 something years and he changed his life and found God in there. And I was like, whoops, cool, that's what's up. But I was like, that doesn't sound really interesting to me. And um, so we're in there. I'm in there in this freaking festival, and I'm just like, whatever. I'm just like pissed off and I'm bored. I'm just like, I can't believe I gotta go through this shit. Like, this is whack, dog. And then this big commotion starts where that guy that was in prison for I don't know how many years, he's gonna come up and speak. And so he has like an entourage with him, and this entourage walks through the sea of the audience, walks through everybody and starts praying for them and saying all kinds of stuff. I don't know any prayers myself, so I couldn't repeat it what they said. But this guy gets on the mic and he starts talking about his get down of what he did, right, and all kinds of stuff, and how he changed his life and how he found the Bible and solitary confinement. And I'm just listening like, well, this guy's boring as shit. And then there's this dude, like bunch of ex cholos walking through the crowd praying for people, and I'm like, well, that's different. That's a trip. And one of them comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" It was like, "What's up, big dog?" He's like, "Do you mind if I do a prayer for you?" And I was like, "Sure." I was like, "Yeah, go ahead." And I didn't expect this to happen. He freaking grabs me by my head. He grabs me from my head and he closes his eyes and lifts his other arm up in the sky, and he starts praying. And dude, I don't. I wish my vocabulary was good enough to explain exactly how I felt, but I'm gonna do my best. So he grabs me by the head, puts his arm up, starts saying these words, these prayers, and I just felt an overwhelming like chill come over my body, and I started getting very, very emotional. I was overcome with emotions of everything all at once at the same time, and tears. I'm a crybaby. So tears started flowing down my eye, and I didn't know why I was crying. I had no clue why the tears started coming out. I had no idea. Like my body started feeling weak. I thought I was gonna be like one of those pancheros that are on TV. They drop down to their knees and they're like, "Oh yes, praise the Lord." I thought I was gonna turn into one of those almost. Then he was praying for me, and I'm crying and crying. And then the dude's like, "Hey, big dog, can I hug you?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, I need a hug, perro." I was like, "I need a hug, fool, hug me, dog." And fool gave me a tight ass, like a real, like legit hug from. And it's weird because this is the first time ever experiencing a legit hug from somebody that, like a stranger, pues. It really seemed like he really cared what I was going through, and it tripped me out. It scared me. And he gave me a hug. He's like, "I got you, dog. The power of Christ lives in you," or whatever. And I was just like, "Whoa, this is nuts." I was like, "This is nuts." And he walks away from me, and I'm like wiping away my tears. And I'm like, "Fuck this place." I'm not trying to be religious. I ain't trying to get down with none of this bullshit. I don't even believe in God, anyways. So I'm out. And so I walked away. I was at the park in San Isidro in East Park. So I walked away. And I didn't tell nobody. I mean, I wasn't even part of the program officially, you know. So I was like, bam, bounced, and I went back to the houses. I went back to my friend's house, the original one that I went to days prior when I first got kicked out of Salvation Army. I went to that fool's pad, like, "Hey, what's up, fool? Let's smoke up. What's up, dog? Smoke me out, you know?" Because me, Big Rob, always got my hand out. Always looking for a handout. Shout out to my homie. He already knows. He's the one that coined that phrase for me. Fucking Rob, always with the handout. That's right. Always asking for a handout, though. So I went, like, "What's up, fool? Smoke me out." He's like, "¿Qué pedo, perro? No que iba a ir a rehab, y no sé qué." And I was like, "Nah, not that one, fool. That's not the one for me." And he's like, "No mames." I was like, "Pues fuck it. Pues hay que fumar, güey. We'll figure it out." And he's like, "Pero no te puedes quedar aquí esta noche." Well, you can't spend the night here, dog, but we can stay late and then you do what you do. Okay, cool. So we're posted up. And then I was asking about one of my homies, right? I was asking about my homie B. And if you guys listen, told the story about him like a week ago. So I asked about him. "Hey, what's up? What's the homie at?" He's like, "No, pues que desapareció, güey. That he disappeared, that he just bounced." And then all of a sudden, the homie B makes the phone call. He calls my boy. And he's like, "Simon, Kyle, away." And I was like, "What? The homie B's coming. I haven't seen him in a while." Like, because I was living in TJ doing my stupid shit. And then, everybody I just got separated from everybody. But that day we're in the pad. And the homie B comes in and we're posting, we're smoking. And we're going to pack the pipa. And a lot of the times when you're around tweakers, you're going to want to pack the pipa through the clear hole. Because if you try to pack it through the neck, and especially if it's your pipa and you try to pack somebody else's material in there, like they trip out, they're gonna think you're trying to skimp it out. They're gonna think something scandalous, right? So what you do is he got a business card out of his wallet, and he gave it to me so I could pack the pipe. And once I did that, I didn't think nothing of it. But once I packed it, I looked at it, and then I was like, "What's up? What's this for, dog?" He's like, "Oh, fool." He's like, "It's a fucking rehab that my dad sent me to, dog. It's fucked up." At that moment, I had the rayo desapendejador, right? I had a moment of clarity. And I was intrigued. I was like, "Well," I was like, "If it's fucked up for you, then maybe it's something good, you know?" And then he tells me, like, "Yeah, fool, it's a fucking rehab in Escondido. But it's fucked up, fool, because the first 3 days they throw you inside a dark ass room. You can't take a shower. You can't change your clothes. All they give you is sopa maruchan to eat, and all you can drink is hot tea for the first 3 days." And they call it the cuarto de malillas, the withdrawal room. And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Sounds good to me. That doesn't seem that half bad. It's better than what I got now, which is nothing." And I didn't know how far Escondido really was from San Isidro. I just didn't. I had no information of any geography going on about San Diego. And I told him, I was like, "Hey, fool." I was like, "Well, what happened?" He's like, "Yeah." He said, "Pues I left. I couldn't hang before I left." And I was like, "Damn, all right." I was like, "Hey, fool, but how much does it cost, or what kind of place it's at?" He's like, "No, it's a house." He's like, "And everything's free. You just gotta show up." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "I like free stuff. Anybody in this whole wide world loves something free." And I told my homie B, I was like, "Hey," he had a car. And I was like, "Hey, fool, you think you could give me a ride over there?" And he looked at me like, Man, you know your fat ass ain't going to rehab, dog. Come on, fool. Why you playing? And I was like, no, stay away. You hook me up with a ride. And he gave me this bullshit excuse. Nah, it's because I can't go up there. I can't be around that house. You know, I was like, all right, I get it.